Hello there, it's Bibi Cameron here. Welcome to another video to share how I made the last cards I post in my blog today. And I will be sharing a couple of ideas to create beautiful and colorful backgrounds using Nuvo Creative Pens. I'm also going to be using two beautiful dies by Simon Says Stamp from the July release. They were just launched a couple of days ago. Okay, so I'm going to grab two pieces of smooth cardstock and I'm going to die cut these using a square stitch die by Honeybee. I'm going to place them together on the big shot so I get two pieces at the same time. So I save a little bit of time. Okay, so now I'm going to die cut this panel here using this beautiful die by Simon Says Stamp, and I'm going to cut the panel 3 times with the die. So now you can see here the beautiful pattern this die creates on the cardstock. It's just beautiful. I just cut the panel with the die in that way. Now I need to turn the die this way, like so, to be able to create a kind of aligned pattern. I need to make sure that the die is completely clean, there is not a piece of paper there, and then I'm ready to go. I make sure my die is clean, and I'm going to align it here as close as possible to the other die cuts. And I'm going to run this through the machine one more time. Okay, so my panel is done. I need to get rid of all those little pieces of paper from the die cut, and that's it. So that's all I do to create that pattern. I'm going to use these dies here. It has a planet and a rocket and they fit in my hand. They are very small. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to put the dies apart. I'm just going to keep them like that, and I'm going to cut the paper like so, so I get all the pieces I need to create a scene in one go. And as I need two rockets, I need to do this twice. I already did it, so you don't have to see the whole thing. And now what I'm going to do is to add color to the background. I will be using the broad tip or the thicker tip of the Nuvo Creative Pens. These are my pens here. So I have them organized and I'm going to do this by colors like in a rainbow. But you can use any color you want. I really like the color you see in the screen now, so I'm going to improvise and see what else I can get just to show you how I do this, okay? So I'm going to speed the camera so you can see exactly what I do, which is kind of tracing lines with a ruler, just as simple as that. The only thing to bear in mind is that I'm starting by applying the lighter color and I'm going to build up the color using every time darker and darker colors of the same shade. And it's very important to keep cleaning the ruler because it's easy to get stains on the paper with the wrong color. And if it happens, don't worry, you can fix that later. And they are not going to look that bad anyway. And this panel is done, and you can just leave it like that, or you can also spray some shimmer on it, or you can go further and use stencils and embossing paste to create fun textures. You can also heat emboss on top of this, or apply an embossing resist technique, or keep it simple like I'm doing here. I'm going to apply some rubbing alcohol, or I'm going to spray it on top of this paper just to show you how the inks reacts when applying alcohol. So the inks doesn't bleed, but instead you get that interesting texture. It's like if you were applying water on a watercolored image and you get those white spots at the background. And to finish this card, I multi-stamp a banner on the Misty using two contrasting inks, and then I glue all together using funky glue. This project is easy, simple and quick, just perfect to make also with children. Now let me show you some card samples using this kind of background, also using Nuvo Creative Pens. For this one here, I use a green pen and I simply drew lines on a piece of white cardstock, and I didn't use any ruler. Same here, but this time I incorporate two ink colors, and I also create an extra background for behind the boy. That background was used as well in the next card so that you can see better what I did, and I basically traced several lines in the same direction all over and over to create that background paper. I also did the same in a scrap piece of paper to die cut the sentiment, and I also like to apply dots here and there on the images just to add some accents using the markers. And for this card here, I also made two different kind of backgrounds. One solid behind the elephant, I completely covered a piece of white cardstock using a yellow Nuvo Creative Pen, and then I spray using rubbing alcohol. And for the background, I draw lines in diagonal using the broad tip of the pens and also the fine tip. You set the three different orange in the collection to create that background, so I also add some contrast. I know these cards are very simple, but they have lots of ideas in terms of what you can color with the pens, as well you can color dies, or you can color your image with the pens, and it's super easy and effortless. And this one here is another solid background, it's sprayed with rubbing alcohol, and I also splatter it using shimmery pens. That's all for today. Thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Visit my blog for more ideas and inspiration. And if you want to order any of the supplies I have used in this video, you can do that from the links in the video description. Thank you very much for watching and happy crafting. Bye!